I'm making baked carrots with basil and maple today. These are fairly easy to make. You can either julienne them by hand, or I'm going to show you how to julienne them using a food processor. I'm starting off with 7 carrots here, and I wash them first, then I trim off the ends, and then I peel them as I'm doing here with a vegetable peeler. Next, I cut them into about 2-inch pieces, as you can see. After that, it's time to get ready with the food processor using the slicing blade or slicing disc. And I'm putting them in, just as you see here, lengthwise. This is when I turn on the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, just to get it preheated. So I put in the carrots just about to the top, then put on the lid. Of course, it always helps if you unlock the lid first. There we go. And in order to run the food processor, we have to plug it in. Then with one hand on the top and the right hand on the button to turn it on, I just press pulse and it slices them. Now this does not julienne them, and this is where it starts to get complicated, but it's still better than julienning by hand. So at this point, I'm going to pour all the carrots into the bowl, and I'm going to look for the larger carrots, like these sizes. And next, I need to slice those again, and I'm going to have them back into the food processor. I move the blade out of the way, and then I'm going to put them in so that their skinny edge is down. As you can see now, what I'm trying to do is get them so that they're lengthwise from left to right. Some of them went upright, but you know what? I wouldn't worry about that. So I'm just pulling them out of the bowl, just these big pieces. Anything that's small or really sliced really thin, they're going to bake up just right, even though they don't look julienne. So I just leave those in the bowl. So I'm holding them with my left hand. Like I said, it's the tricky part, but so much better than slicing by hand. When I pretty much get enough in there at a certain point, or I find as many in the bowl as I can pull out, then I finally get the top put back on, my left hand on the top, and then pulse, and they go through. Now at this point, almost all of them are going to be sliced just the way I want them for this dish. So I put what's in the food processor in the bowl, but you know, I'm still looking for some that are big. And at this point, I might just cut them by hand, but I've only done 1 round of carrots. But what's ever left over at the end that's still kind of big, I'll just go ahead and slice them by hand. At this point, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and then once those 2 ingredients are in there, I'm going to give it a good stir with a large spoon. After that, I'm going to add 1 scant tablespoon of dried basil, stir it again. And my last 2 ingredients are salt and pepper. So I'm just going to shake on some salt without really measuring. And I'm going to use some fresh ground pepper. If you don't have a pepper grinder, you could just take a pepper shaker and shake some on. And then after that, I give it 1 more stir. Next, it's ready to go in the casserole dish. Now I use an earthenware casserole dish. You can use earthenware or glass. It needs to have a cover though. Well, if you don't have a cover, you're going to be covering it with a foil. But this one, for me, it does have a cover. So I put it in there, I even it out, and I put it into my preheated oven at 375 for 1 hour with the cover on, and I stir the carrots every 20 minutes. When I'm serving the carrots hot, I take them out and serve them right away, but a lot of times I serve them cold. Now you can see that when they cook, they really cook down. So if you want, you could transfer it to a smaller casserole dish, but it's up to you. We've even put them into pitas. Oh my gosh, they were so good. So give it a try. Baked carrots with basil and maple. This roasted cauliflower recipe is so good. It's so delicious that I actually ate some of it before remembering to take this last video. It's easy to make, and let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. Start off by